Alright everybody, so this is actually my video number 3 because my video number 1 was just a try. Video number 2, I actually lost the file, so I'm recording again. So this video is all about introducing the Gundam plastic models, or by far, plastic model kits. It's my very first video. I am actually isolating because of COVID. And this has been in my storage, and I started building for my video number 1 and 2, which I lost. So I'm almost towards the end of the building, but I'll still try to introduce what this is all about, and maybe have some of you guys into the same hobby. So this is a real grade, if you realize. RG means real grade. Bandai comes with different grades, such as HG, high grade. Some are no rating, no grade. You have MG, which is master grade, and PG, which is a perfect grade. I think that's what I know so far. I don't know if they might have other things. They have the mini ones too, SD. I think it's called SD grade. Those are the mini ones. I'll share with you guys what I have later as well. Anyway, for today it's Zaku 2. This is one of the main mobile suits of the main antagonist in one of the original Gundam animations. Let's see, it doesn't really show here. Anyhow, it's already open, so this is not opening box kind of video. As you can see, the real grade, the difference between real grade and high grade HD, which is the most common, I would say, is, there we go, there we go. This is the same, so it's a 1:144, or 1/144 ratio, so it's fairly small machine, about the size of my palm, I would say. The difference is the real grade has internal mechanics, pretty well detailed for the size of this model, and the mobility, the range of mobility is also much better on this one, I would say, than the high grade. Just to give you a comparison. Excuse me. So I have a leg of this model that's already finished, and this is a high grade Gundam. This is old Gundam, one of the prototypes from 00 animation, which is also fun. There we go. There, it's a little fuzzy, I guess. Where's the focus? I guess the focus is a little bit here, somewhere here. There we go. So there, that's that. As you can see, the size-wise, it's pretty much the same. I guess this is Zaku is a little bit bigger. The Zaku machines are often bigger than the Gundam. Anyway, fairly small as well, the size of my hand, right, as you can see. So this is high grade. The range of motion is still pretty good, but it's not as detailed. There's no internal structure at all, just joints, right? And that's that. This is still good. I still like high grade ones. Very much more affordable and easier to build as well. Anyway, that's that. And tools. Some of the tools that you're gonna need to build something like this, you're not gonna need for Gundams, Bandai Gundams. You're not gonna need plastic bond. You're gonna need them if you're building other plastic models, which I'll share later in other videos. But for this one, you're gonna need a cutter, right? Because you're gonna have to cut lots of tiny parts. Lots of tiny parts. It's most of them are already cut out, but like these ones, these are all parts, right? Tiny parts. There's some left here and there. And then you're gonna need so therefore you want to get a tiny cutter possible, right? Sharp, tiny. You don't need a heavy duty. Then you're gonna need the art knife. It's broken, but it still works, right? So art knife right there, so that you can cut out cut out tiny pieces that are left over, and you're gonna end up having pieces like these, right? You see on my finger? All to be discarded in a separate box. And this is optional. I also like to use this from time to time for different parts. It's a sanding tool. You can use sandpaper as well to sand to make the surface more smooth. Pay attention though, if you don't want to paint at all, if the surface is a wide surface, do not sand it, because that's going to ruin the color, the pre-coloring of this, especially models like Real Grade or Master Grade or Perfect Grade. The coloring is well differentiated already. Many people don't go ahead and color separately. I am not going to for this one anyway, unless I find more time later after my isolation is over. So I'm not using this as often. Maybe some parts that it's difficult to use the art knife, I just do a little bit of grinding, like a corner part, right? Then it works. Lastly, if you're not painting, I would still recommend doing this. Now, this is a Gundam marker. It's just it's a very thin Sharpie that's oil-based. As you can see, it's just a really... Sorry, there we go. Oops. There, can you see it? Nope. There, it's a bit fuzzy, but anyway, it's very fine tip. It's nice because it gives your machine... It looks more real, I guess. It looks more animation-like. Sometimes you can overdo it, like I did here, but it still looks better than when it's just white. This one is actually no grade, no painting done, some sticker. This was a free kit that I received from Gundam Expo that I attended some years ago, back in Korea, actually. It almost had zero mobility. Fantastic, right? The swords are just there for look. Arms don't move. Arms move, but yeah, they don't really move, right? But anyway, it looks better. If you do this, it looks better. Even this kind of kit, it make it look better. Look at the face, right? It looks better, right? So that's that. And let's get on with this. So box is open. It's already open. The part is gone. You got a manual. It's very important to follow the manual, I think. Just like IKEA, building IKEA, right? If you read Japanese, fantastic. Go through it. Some rich information, I guess, regarding introduction of the machine. Any link to animation. There's some color codes if you wish to paint. This little mini figure is actually really, really small. Let me show you. It's really small. I have painted this tiny figure before without magnifying glass. I did it very, very I did a pretty sloppy job. I did coloring quite simple. Actually wasn't this small because it was for master grade. I have it somewhere. When I find it, I'll share it in the other video. But anyway, for this kind of thing, if you do want to go ahead and paint, I recommend, pardon me, my llama pajama. There we go. I recommend using something like this, right? Not very expensive at all. It does help. It even lights up a little bit. There, a little LED. Not very helpful. You just would need to have just good light. Anyway, it does help. It does do some magnification of the work. Of course, it's not going to be shown on the what do you call on the camera. Oh, excuse me. But it will help. Definitely make the work possible, right? So get one of these on Amazon if you want to color, right? Anyway, so enough of that. The actual building part, this is introduction of some instructions. make sure you use. Oh, this is another thing that you want. Another thing that you need. Force app, tiny force app, right? Just because, especially for the real grades, you have a gazillion number of mini decals, right? Stickers, really, but they're not glossy, so they actually look pretty nice when you apply them. Some you have to apply while you're building. Some you just do it at the very end, right? But this is essential. So you need that. One of the nice things is if you see here, the inner mechanics, when you break it out of the runner, or you take it out of the runner, right? You have to actually turn some of that. You have to turn and then click in. So these are, I don't know why they did it. Maybe they had to for the production purposes, or maybe they just wanted to give it a more of a realistic feeling of building, right? You actually feel like you're actually building a machine rather than a plastic model kit. So that's nice. Many of the symbols are pretty straightforward, like ×2, that means make 2 of them. This one, I think, I don't actually know these 2 symbols. Don't worry too much about it. It didn't really affect any of my other buildings. This one, though, little peeling sign, that's sticker. You have to find that sticker and apply it in the correct location. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for you to apply it to that location, right, after building. Please be careful, because once you put those parts together, it's very difficult to pull them apart without breaking any parts. These are plastic, these are not metals, and tiny plastic pieces, so they can easily break. Speaking of breaking, so making feet, that's no problem, legs, no problem, until you get to this point. You use spring mechanism, and tiny pieces, actually a very tiny piece, to make the pipe section of the leg here. Now this one's fine, I did it correctly, but the part that connects in the middle, there's a spring. There we go. In the middle there's a spring, and there's a small part, small plastic part. I'm gonna show you this one as well. You might or might not notice the shape is a little different. The reason is because at the bottom of this, as I was trying to put it in and then turn it, a little bit too eager, I broke it. I broke the connection between the spring and the part. Let me show you. Like this. So it's now just held in place with the sheer spring force, I guess. I cannot bend this leg. It looks a little bit odd, but it does the job, right? I don't care too much. It's my mistake, but the bottom line is I can't bend it anymore. Just to show the mobility, and it's quite nice. Just not like the high grade, they don't just bend. As they bend, the outer armor also moves out like that. How cool is that, right? And this is spring for a reason, because they bend. I wouldn't display my model, or your model. You wouldn't display your model in this position for a long time, because I can only assume that the tiny small plastic parts will give up in time. So this is just for show. I think that's my opinion. There we go. Even the knee part goes up, right? Knee part goes up. Anyway, so nice mobility, but my plan is to keep it, excuse me again, is to keep it standing. So that's good with me. So going through that, the arm part, just to introduce, again, you're not going to see the building portion because I already built it. That's legs, that's left leg, leg done. And after the leg, you have little section for waist building. Just take a note that in some cases, when you take it out, so this whole thing is waist, you have to separate them, just pop it open, right? And the top part, it actually is discarded, right? Just a small section of waist building. Again, some more information regarding the animation, introduction of the weapon systems, so on and so forth, different parts of the this machine. Again, I don't need read Japanese, but if you do, please indulge yourself. And there. You can put the parts together as you build. I personally don't, because I think it's easier to put these tiny stickers on when they're separate. So that's why I have all the parts separate so far. Arm units are done. One side shield, one side little mace structure there. Again, you take out the arm unit, they're all together. How cool is that? But you have to actually pull them apart. And this F part, you'll notice, is not going to be used for arms at all. But this is solid drawing as opposed to like shaded drawing. Like this little part is going to be discarded, but this one you got to keep because that's going to be used for body part. Anyway, do the little click, little, I don't know, again, I don't know why they made it like that, not already clicked in. But you do that, it's kind of fun. Be careful because some of the joints, it's got very small axles and so on and so forth. Build the left and right arms. And when you get to the hand, you'll notice, hey, the hand is fixed position like this. Like this, right? And it's nice, it looks nicer. Nice fist. You cannot do that with, there's another option, moving hand. The fingers move very nicely. They actually move very nicely. It's double jointed, I think. So there we go. You got one joint. Can you see it? You got one joint like that. And it also goes down like that, right? So it's quite nice. This is going to be used for holding weapons if you want to hold weapons. But if you just want fist position for display, I would go for this, the fixed fist. It just looks better. It looks more natural. This one, it doesn't go that. It doesn't make a good fixed position. So there goes the arm. It's all finished. Again, here's the arm. I don't think I have shown you the mobility of this. Again, some of the parts move, just like this. Let's actually, this is the right way. As I bend it, you see the armors also sort of come apart, like here, right? Together, goes back together, and it's separated here, right? Arms also move with a grate. You can flex it quite nicely like this. It's well flexed, right? Featuring biceps. There we go. All covered. So that's good. After that, we have body unit. Again, you got some rings. I gotta be careful though. Everything else is quite straightforward. It's quite straightforward. Straightforward until you get to this point. Be very careful. As two of those rings, you have two different shaped rings. One with one side smaller than the other one's just even. It's mix of them. Go in order. It's basically three odd side ones, six even side, and then three odd side. The odd side ones are for the initial curve and the latter curve, right? As you put these guys in, it can be a little bit of a challenge, but it does work. Just be careful not to put too much force on it. You don't want to break it, right? So that is that, and I am in the process of now starting the head unit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut cut out all the parts that's needed for this entire page, which is head unit page. I'll put those parts in each of the instruction boxes, and then I'll re-record of myself putting it together just so that you can see it. After that, we're gonna assemble the weapons, and that's it. That's done. And lastly, we have the moving hand part. I'm gonna make another one and show you just how that works. And this is a sticker page. This is gonna take some time. I am not gonna record putting it on. Maybe just one sticker as an example. But I'll just show you the end product before and after the sticker, right? And maybe after this one as well. This pen's been anyway. So I'm gonna pause. See you in a bit. You guys will see me in a second. Alright, guys. So all parts are cut. Let's put them together. I've cleaned every part except for this part. I wasn't sure which part I cut from. But I'll see, and I'll just clean this away. I also did not cut out these little guys. These little guys, remember if I said they actually have different shapes of different patterns and orders. So I want to put them in as instructed right there. I want to put them in and then cut them out, right? That's how I'm gonna go about. Let's put them together. All right, the first step is this. Just go one by one. Pardon me for the it's a little better, it's light. Alright, so you can fast forward this if you don't want to see all the parts. You just want to go to the result. Just fast forward, right? There we go. So this guy goes. Okay, let's see. It's a good idea to have a good light. This room I don't really have the best light, but it still does the job, right? Alright, so this will go here. Something like this, I suppose. Yep, sits on it like that. Then the upper cover right there should go like this. Okay, hold it in place. There we go. Fantastic. Alright, so there's a mouth. I think this is the mouth part. What's supposed to be mouth anyway? Right? There. Okay, next portion. There. And there. Gotta go. This. Guess it needs to click. Does it need a click? Let's see. I don't think it clicks. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna break it, so I'm not gonna. Maybe a little bit more force. Nope, nada. There we go. There. So it doesn't necessarily make a click sound, but as you turn, as instructed here, it sort of clicks in and holds in place. That's good. Nice neck. I think this is going to be a neck, a tilting head mechanism. And then this guy, okay, this guy goes through like this. Again, be careful with the orientation. Nice, and it should make clicking sound as it goes in. Otherwise, it's not in. There we go. And does it click? Hopefully. Didn't quite click. So I don't think it's fully in. Maybe it is. But be very gentle with those parts, guys. They're very, very weak, right? They're very weak. Alright, it's in. I guess it's moving. I think it's fine, right? Yeah, it's enough force for the head part. Okay. Lastly, we need sticker action here. It's a clear part. I'm guessing that's gonna be the mono eye of this Zaku 2. Okay, that was a false side. There we go. That's a right hole. Don't get any wrong ideas, guys. Just building plastic model. Just be careful not to drop these clear parts. They're gonna be very difficult for you to find. Alright, if you there we go. And sticker action. That's it. It's number 23. Number 23 with black circle. That would be this red odd eye. No, sorry, mono eye. Okay, it's gonna be very difficult for all the stickers actually, as they are so tiny, but of good quality, right? I think they are of good quality. All right, so let's see. Mono eye on. There we go. Oh, make sure it's centered, otherwise you're gonna have an odd mono eye. Yeah, I think it's fairly centered. Yep, I think it's good. Yep. Fantastic. So that's good. Let's put him on. Let's put him on. Yeah, just need to press it firmly with just the tip of finger. That'll do the job. Right? Don't try too hard, as it's gonna make odd shapes. As you try too hard, and I think I already tried too hard, but that's all right. All right, so odd eye going in. It should, in theory, be able to move left, right. I don't know if I'll actually be able to move it, but we'll see. Right, we'll see. As of now, it's looking forward, like exactly straight up. My guess is you won't be able to turn it. Alright, so I'm going to put it a little bit to the side so it's not looking straight up. I think it gives a little kick, right? Okay, so let's put go to the next section. I'm going to put this one on the glass cover. Again, it's all plastic. Put the head on. Now be very cautious of your eye orientation, as with any other parts. It's going to be very difficult to uncap it and so you can change the eye direction, right? Again, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit to the side. That was a little bit tough. That's fine. Just 45, maybe a little bit more to the side, so it actually gives a feeling of, hey, this guy, the mono eye's on me, right? Feeling. I'm looking at you, kind of feel, right? So there we go. It's on. The head unit is going on. I like it. Right, there we go. Very small head, right? If this is your first time building real grade or high grade, it's gonna feel very small. Okay, we only have the latter part left. I'm gonna put them together, and then I'll start the video again. Alright, so it goes in like that. Might as well just show you. And I'll just pop those parts. There's no way you can actually cut them, I don't think. Yeah, unless you have a micro cutter. Oops, okay, this fell just right out. This part is actually not so fragile because it's more flexible parts. But anyway, okay, I'll do it this way. There we go. That might be better. So from the top, I'll just pop it open, there we go, pop it open, pop it open, and pop this guy open, or out. Yeah, that's the correct word. Will be a little dirty, but I can clean them up later, just on it. After that, it's number 8. So these guys needs to be pushed all the way in. I guess there's a little bit of hiccup here. Gotta push it in. There we go. Gotta push it in. And again, this is not quite working out as I anticipated. Yeah, so this needs some work, guys. Just be patient. Don't break it. All right, so I'm on my last one, second last one. The key to it, I think, is don't use your brute force. It's gonna cause some damage. What I found out is you can either try to just snap, or it doesn't work. Spin it. Just gently spin your way in. And there we go. It goes in. All right. So repeat that. It'll finish. There we go. And there and there. Pop in. There we go. And turn it. Spin it so that it's in the correct orientation. The smaller side, of course, or the shorter side inside, as it's gonna have a shorter. Well, you're gonna need shorter distances, right? There we go. This guy goes like this. I mean, if it's not perfect, that's fine, right? I mean, you can only do so much. There, I think that's pretty good. And on to the last one. That's number 2. And this orientation goes right in. And I'm gonna pop them out. Let's do that. Right, so pop. Yeah, this blade is even too big. Just gotta pop them out. Like that, like that, like that. And the last one. There we go. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm just gonna cut out some of the parts, right? Not parts, what do I say? The remnants. Right? Do a good job, it's gonna be flawless. Don't do a good job, well, you can do. They actually have, if you can get a hand on, or if you have access to like Gundam shops and or one of those toy stores, some of them will carry pens. They got the color-coded pens. They're touch pens. Like, you don't do full coloring with those pens, but they're nice for touch-ups, right? So there we go. Oops, I cut too much for that one. You just gotta be careful, right? Not to cut too much. These art knives are quite sharp. First and utmost, don't cut yourself. But don't cut too much of the plastic piece either. It'll just eat right in. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in. There we go. There we go. These are straight parts. They're easy. The last two are the odd ones, which you kind of have to. Okay, let's see. It doesn't seem right, but let's see. It still works. There we go. I think it works. Yep, pretty much similar. and it looks good. Okay, time to put them on together. Just gonna need to cut the last part, cut it out, cut this part, cut it right out. There we go. And put them together. Let's put them together. So this guy goes, the cut part goes here, like that, goes in. So it goes right in, like this. Oops. Guess what? Oh, there we go. There's nothing wrong with that. I guess it needs some brute force to pop it in. Make sure you don't mix up the sides. So in, there we go, it's in. I think, yeah, that's good. And put this guy in, slide right in. There we go. So both sides are in, it's all good. Fantastic. The last piece here, it goes in like that, and also at the same time this guy hooks in like this, so you gotta really hook it in. Let's do this. So as you're putting it in, gotta hook the two parts in together, and there we go. Bam. Hey, actually worked out quite nicely. It looks actually good, very smooth. It looks really good. And the last part, the finale, antenna. I think it's antenna, right? In like this. Hold on. Yeah, in like this. Gives a little click sound. Again, careful not to break it. There you go. There's our head unit. Head unit. In our next video, I'm gonna compare before sticker, after sticker, and also the penmanship, right? All right, see you in the next video. Oh, I'll also be putting the weapons together in the next video.